right, everyone. Thanks for coming by. Welcome. We're going to actually do some interesting contour drawing today. We're actually going to go in and this is one of my sketchbooks that I had that I found in my studio. I was trying to think about ideas with sketching, drawing, contour drawing. So as watercolor artists, as you know, sketching, drawing, contour drawing, these things are just absolutely valuable for your watercolors. This way you can you can get your subject matter on your watercolor paper with some pencil, and then you can go from there and do your painting. So the key is just practicing a little bit every day, maybe every other day, whatever you can do. You just try your best to get at least a little bit of time in every day if you can, to just do some contour drawing, some sketching. I always suggest using pens. Pens are great because, it kind of gives you the idea of just going for it, getting the subject matter down on your sketch paper, your sketchbook, and not worrying about erasing things. Like if you go off on a line and it doesn't look the correct angle, or if it's maybe not perfectly straight, the lines, let's say, or the angles or the curves that you're drawing, no matter what subject matter you're working with, if it's not perfect, that's okay. The thing is, the more you draw, you're going to get better and better. Your eye will become more attuned to seeing angles, curves, lines, distance. You'll pick up on a lot of different things if you're just practicing all the time. Your drawing will get better 100%. If you're just drawing every day, maybe 10, 15 minutes. And so I'm looking back at my old sketchbooks, taking some of the ones that some of the first drawings that I was doing, maybe more simple drawings here where I was going out and trying to find subject matter that was pretty much like two-dimensional. So just, not too many angles, complicated foreshortening, complicated, subject matter that sometimes is really challenging, like curves, like cars. Cars are very difficult to draw. So in the beginning, I didn't really do many cars, vehicles, things like that, because of the curves and the lines and the foreshortening and things like that. So, all right, so let's get started here. What we're going to do is contour draw, and we're just going to start. We'll do a little bit of shading too. So I have a China marker. So I use a China marker to do some shading, and I do the pen to do the pen drawing. And you can also use a office pencil if you want to start out, to maybe get a few sketch lines in, just so you kind of know where you're going to be drawing things. So let's just repeat exactly what we have below here. So let's just say we're going to go with the first shape we see is the rectangle over here. So I'm just going to gently get this rectangle in. And that could be a tissue box or a brick. You can kind of think of, when you're drawing, you can kind of think of shapes as maybe objects in your mind. You might say, oh, that looks like a tissue box or a brick, or that might look like a, that could be like a hat, So you could think of different things. And so we're going to have that there, and then it drops down over here, and then it goes all the way across here. So this is a very extremely large rectangle here. And this is a local supermarket that's nearby my house. And then we have another rectangle over here. And they basically all are on this same line on the bottom. So this line on the bottom is all level, straight across. You could use a ruler too if you wanted to. You could bring a ruler with you when you're sketching and just start out with a straight line like that, and then you can work from there. And then here, there's another. I'm kind of out of the picture here, so let's just say we'll kind of leave this here like that. And I might have went out of the picture here, so I'll shorten a few of these things, these lines. Then I'll take some kneaded eraser and just erase some of the lines I might have drawn out of the picture here. I forgot to draw in my frame. So my frame is here. I'm gonna do this way here. Okay, just so I know where to draw. And from this point in, we might get one more line across here. And that'll be the bottom of the building. It's a little bit larger than the top. Like so. So once you get that basic shape in, then you can go in with your pen. And you just take your office pen. And then you could trace over the line. And then this will be more. So I'm just starting. Contour drawing is just you start in one place and just keep drawing. Best thing to do is to kind of stay close, working out your subject matter. So here we're going to go across like this. Across like that, up over this way here. Okay, so now you can see we have this basic shape of the supermarket. This could be a little bit larger from top to bottom. We do have some building on the bottom that is so we can start working our windows in. And there we go. So we're just taking our lines. There we go. And then we have some vertical lines here for the other storefronts that are here. And you can change things around a little bit. You can see I'm not going exactly accurate to what's above. And then we have this here. And then we have windows, more windows here. Okay. So you can see these are really just a series of squares and rectangles, mostly rectangles. A couple squares here, rectangles, all rectangles, squares here. So this is kind of more cube, a lot of cubes and squares, grid-like drawing. And you can use graph paper too. If you have some graph paper, you can have fun with graph paper drawing. Any structures, buildings, things like that really look great with cityscapes with graph paper. Maybe on another video we'll do some work with some graph paper. But for right now, let's continue on here. We're just going to continue and we're going to get the sign in on this. So I started there and then I went down like this. I went back up here. Like that. And then we have the lettering. Like that. Then we have the pharmacy department over here, and then we have some lines, and then the lettering. So we have some decorative paint lines on the building, and then pharmacy department. Here I'm just going to write very gently and barely can see the lettering at all. And then over here, the same thing. There's some painted lines on the structure. And I pretend there's some writing there. All right, and we can do some of the trees here. Not too much. I would just leave them very minimal. And there's a couple over here in the front of the building. And maybe another one next to that. A couple branches up on 45-degree angles. And then there's a bush over here. And I just gently put them in. I don't want them too thick, or I'd like to keep them light so you can see through them, these trees and bushes. And so if I do that, it'll look a little better. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just some lines there. And maybe we'll do one more over here. Maybe this one's closer to the foreground here, and then this one we can go out of the picture with that one. That one gives us a little more feeling of three-dimensionality. This one is closer here. These are further away, closer to the building. Okay, looks good. Now we can take our China marker and we'll just do some shading underneath the top portion of the building. The upper part of the building creates an overhang, usually around 6 or 8 feet or so. This way people, when they're coming out of the market, they can stay underneath that if it's raining and wait for a car to come pick them up, or just if they can wait for a few minutes and then wait till the rain stops, maybe if it's a little bit inclement weather. So there we have it. There's some shadowing under here, like that. And then some other shading that we do. And you can just create it as you want it. But these are more light areas here where the light's shining on the building. And this is the shadow area on the top portion of the wall underneath the main part of the roof area of the building. And that's about it. So let's keep, you could also do some trees in the background, like so. In the distance, there might be some trees in the background that live back there, and we just put them in for some shading, like that. We could put some directional lines here, like that. And that always helps a little bit to give it some interesting three-dimensional lines. And then we put our other lines here where the windows are. Okay, I hope you had fun doing this quick contour drawing. We used a office pen, a China marker to do some shading, and we used an office pencil just to get our preliminary sketch in, just real lightly, so that we kind of got the feel for the building. We sketched in real lightly with our office pencil. Then we went in over the top of that with our office pen. And this is a Uniball Vision Elite, very fine point pen. And we got our drawing in over the top, and then we did some more finer details on the windows, And then our trees. We filled in our trees here very lightly. And we could fix up a few branches if you want. Not too many, though. And that's really it. So if you try a couple of these, maybe just one of these a day, you could take a picture of someplace near your house and then draw from your phone. Or you could sit in your car and have your sketchbook maybe and just park and do a quick drawing for 5-10 minutes. Depends on where you live, how busy the parking lot is, if you feel comfortable doing that, and so forth. You can also look things up online and put it on your TV or on your laptop and draw from your laptop or books. You can, magazines, books, anything. Use as much stuff as you can to make it easy for yourself. But when you do your contour drawing every day a little bit, just like this, your drawing will improve incredibly. And also, too, if you keep it simple and do two-dimensional drawings where you're not doing a lot of angles and things, and you're just doing maybe more frontal views of things, you'll be able to practice your two-dimensional lines and shapes. And then once you get a hang of that and you're doing that pretty well and feel pretty good at it, then you start tackling some angles and things on buildings and so forth. So you'll learn it. It just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of patience. But we hope all of us artists, we always want to improve our drawing skills, and I'm included. I'm always trying to practice my drawing skills to get better, because it is challenging, and it's always there's always some kind of new drawing we're going to tackle, and it's going to be a little tough to do all the angles and things. So we'll do more of this, but just wanted to do a quick fun sketch here with everyone, a contour drawing, and we'll see you on the next video, okay? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Again, we're going to be doing these videos a lot now, doing some more drawing videos, and of course we'll always do our painting videos every week as well, so you can do your watercolor paintings along with us here, and we'll see you again on the next video. Bye-bye.